So most coaches nowadays are running low ticket offers. And when I say low ticket offer, I mean like under $200 a month subscriptions. And I don't know why they run it, because they just don't work. If we look here, this is what I call the low ticket cycle. So this is the coach right here. They launch a low ticket offer, then they start making some money, a decent amount of money, 50K to 100K per month. What happens is they end up losing and churning a bunch of clients. And this happens after 3 to 5 months. They just constantly go in the cycle where they post content, right, gain new users, and then they churn. And they get stuck at that like 50K mark, and there's not really anywhere to grow. And it's because they only have that one offer, right? Low tickets by themselves aren't inherently bad, but when that's your only offer, it really sucks. So in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly how to make $1 million offers. And when I say $1 million offers, I mean $1 million a month offers. So there's 3 very distinct steps that we're gonna look at. And the very first thing is building teams. Obviously, you can launch a high ticket. And when we say high ticket, I'm saying like every single person that enters your program is paying like $4,000. So obviously some coaches have thought about launching their own high ticket programs. The problem is when they actually think about doing that, they realize there's a bunch of responsibility that comes along with that, and you can't do everything at once. You can't do everything at once perfectly, that is. So you can't do service delivery, following up with leads, marketing, managing DMs, sales calls, editing content, web design, ads, yada, 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 right? There's 1,000 other things. And as a coach by yourself, it's very, very hard to perfect something like this. So we all come down to the realization that there's only so much we can do by ourselves. In an ideal situation, what would it look like for the coach? Well, they would be doing only the service delivery and only the content. Everything else should be delegated. In a perfect world, that would happen. They wouldn't have to do any of the marketing, any of the back-end stuff, and the $4,000 deals are being collected automatically. That's not just a unicorn event, that's actually something that's possible. If you place phone setters, DM setters, email setters, and SMS setters, closers, marketers, managers, all these different people, you could do it. Now, I'm not saying it's gonna be easy, but you can do it and you make a lot more money. All the best offers on the market right now that are doing $1 million months have high ticket offers. And when hiring out a team, it's very important to do it properly if you actually wanna be profitable. And basically, the way that these teams are structured is so that we could book in the most amount of calls possible so that we could close the most amount of deals. Because we're not closing these deals through our funnel, we're closing them through a sales call. So we'll have people dialing up, we'll have people messaging in the DMs, we'll have people messaging in email, we'll have people messaging on SMS, all trying to book in calls. Once these calls are booked, then what we call closers will hop on the call and close them for them. But on top of that, you should also have someone that's doing the marketing for you, right? Sending out the email sequences, sending out the SMS sequences, building out story sequences, a bunch of other things. But not only should you have these setters in place and these closers in place, you should have someone that's managing everyone as well. Because if you truly want this to be on autopilot, you need that. And that's where the marketers, the managers, the backend ops guys, the web designers, the automation guys come into play. It's very important to build out a team of people that can actually run your offer for you. A lot of coaches like to say that they run their own business, but in reality, it's just a glorified job. At what point does it turn from job to business? Well, when you delegate all the work to team members so that you can actually relax. So that's why it's really, really important to actually build out a team. If I tell you a quick story, a coach one time came to me and he was like, well, Boris, I'm doing 6K per month. How do I actually get to the next level? And I said, well, let's have a look at what you're doing. And he understood very well that, he can't do all the high ticket stuff that I just told you about by himself. So he was like, Boris, help me. I was like, I got you. So we built out a sales team, built out all the marketing, built out everything so that we could facilitate a high ticket launch and a high ticket product that's ongoing. And we did the launch. He went from 6K per month. Mind you, he had a low ticket and now he's doing 6 figures. And this isn't just a unicorn play. You could do this on any offer as long as you know how to market it and sell it the correct way. So teams is the very first step. The second step is actually building out a funnel that will convert. At the end of the day, your funnel is the heart of your coaching business. And if you don't have a proper funnel, you're not gonna convert leads, you're not gonna have any leads for your sales team, and you're not gonna automatically get conversions. right? So it's really important to dial in your funnel. Now, if we just have a look at your average school funnel, this has just been glorified by Alex Hormozi, but it just doesn't work because you're charging such a low amount and there's such a high churn rate, and over time, there's just no profits. This guy right here is making 8K per month with his low ticket offer, but he could be doing multi-six figures if he just properly launched a high ticket funnel. Another example. So Steph here has a low ticket product and he's selling a mentorship, $99 a month. And although this funnel might look beautiful and it might have a really good VSL, this video right here, it's not converting at the highest capacity because you're not focusing on high ticket. Your funnel should be focused on high ticket if you want to make the most amount of money. So what does an actual good funnel look like? On the front end, you should have a free opt-in. And the reason why we do this is because it goes hand in hand with your actual sales team. Because if you don't have leads coming in through the door, through the free funnel, you're not gonna be able to actually convert them down the line. So you wanna get as many emails, phone numbers, first names as possible so that you can convert them down the line, upfront at least. Then you could redirect them to a VSL, and the VSL should be selling them on actually going to your high ticket program instead of going to your low ticket program. Because again, the main focus should be high ticket. Now, typically what you see in high ticket funnels is an application page. The reason why we want to have an application page is not only to find out more information about the prospect, but also mainly to financially qualify them. Once we financially qualify them, then we could send them to either a low ticket or a high ticket. If it's a high ticket, then we could just book in a call right away. If they don't financially qualify, then we could sell them the low ticket. Again, low tickets don't suck. It's just the fact that when you only sell the low ticket is when you shoot yourself in the foot. And again, it's not your fault that we think this way. We've just been brainwashed to think that monthly reoccurring is the way. As a coach, you wanna be the most profitable and you need to have a bunch of different offers so you could sell at different price points to your target audience. Again, it's not your fault. Alex Hormozi has brainwashed you with school. Just go to a high ticket offer and have that be your main focus. So we just broke down teams and funnels. The last and pretty much most important thing is your sequences. What do you have running on the back end so that you can actually drive conversions from the leads that you picked up? Because you can have a really good team. You can have a really good funnel that's collecting all the free leads. But if you don't have sequences on the back end, constantly following up with the leads, well, it doesn't matter, right? All these different pieces in this video connect like puzzle pieces. If you wanna see the full picture, you literally need every single step or else there's no point in doing it, and you might as well just run a low ticket. Like I just drew out here, right? This coach understands you do need a team and they do need a proper funnel, but what about the actual systems? The systems are really important because it connects everything together. Now, remember how we were talking about how we need to hire specific people for emails, SMS, dials? This is where it comes into play. So number one, whenever someone enters the free funnel, you want a 7-day sequence right off the bat to get them engaged and warmed up. Very first thing is get them to reply first. After you get them to reply, then you can really hit them anywhere you want. The reason why we want them to reply is just because we want to keep that email domain warm. After that, provide some value and your own personal story. What did you go through to get to where the consumer wants to be? Past that, you'll have objection handles, student success stories, and the student success story will have a call to action because the success stories from the students is where the consumer is going to relate to the most because that's where they're closest. Have a call to action right on this. If you don't, you're missing out. And the call to action should be to book in a call or to even reply to the email. Most of these emails have actual replies, and when they reply, the actual email setter or salesperson will be replying there as well and trying to get them booked in, right? Then you'll have another objection handle. And the reason why we handle objections in the email sequence is because typically people have preconceived notions on what you're selling them. If you look at literally any niche, there's always gonna be like a thought pattern from the consumer that they shouldn't buy or they can't do it, right? Whether it's money, whether it's time, whether it's the actual business model itself. So you need to break that down for them and get them to understand that, right? Have another objection handle email and then another student success with a call to action. This is all to book in a call, right? If they don't book in a call, obviously they'll get downsold to your low ticket. But we really want to book in a call because again, our main focus is high ticket here. We don't really care about selling them on a low ticket subscription. That's literally going to net us $500. I'd much rather get paid $4,000 than $500. It's pretty straightforward. So you'll do the same or something very similar on SMS. And again, you have someone engaging on the SMS. So you have an actual salesperson talking to the leads on SMS. As soon as they enter the free resource or the free community, whatever you give as the front end free offer, you'll just say, yo, did you get the resource? Yo, are you in? right? Pretty straightforward, same thing as the email. And then you also wanna have a dialer constantly hitting up the leads through phone calls. And this is just really important because it's just another vertical that we could be hitting them on. So we hit them with 2 dials, and then the next day we hit them with another 2 dials, and then another dial, and then the next day another dial, and then the next day another dial. And it's pretty straightforward because all we're really trying to do here is either book them in for a call. If they don't financially qualify, downsell them to the low ticket. See how it's a little bit of a ladder? And that's why we really want to focus on high ticket, because people can afford the high ticket. They just don't know you're selling it, or you don't even sell it. So you're missing out on so much money. Now, I'm just gonna go quickly over the pre-call sales process. So obviously you wanna have a bunch of confirmation texts and follow-ups so that they actually remember the call itself. You also wanna send a bunch of resources, so course material, pre-call, VSLs, and a bunch of other stuff. I also like to do the podcast method. So basically you have the actual closer or salesperson hop on a virtual call with the coach, and they kind of go over common objections and break that down step by step so that the prospect hopping on the call won't have those objections going into it, and they kind of feel at ease. The biggest thing here is just building trust so that they actually show up to the call and show up ready to buy. Another thing that's huge for building trust is a triage call. And this is also just to verify that all the information that we gathered up until this point is true. So on the triage call, you're basically gonna be asking a bunch of questions, building pain, and really building that rapport so that they actually show up to the call and are ready to buy. We really wanna build up that trust. And then obviously the live sales call happens and we collect that $4,000. Okay, so just to go over everything, number one thing you want to focus on is building a team that will actually convert everything for you. You don't want to be in a glorified job position. You want to be running a business. For that to happen, you need proper salespeople trained, proper marketing trained, you need proper back-end people so that everything runs smoothly. Without a team, there's literally no point in running a high ticket offer because you won't be able to run it at capacity. Next thing is the actual funnel. So make sure you're focusing on high ticket within your funnel, and you're trying to get as many free leads as possible. The last thing is make sure your systems are in place so that you can actually convert leads and get the most amount of calls booked. Without the systems, you will literally fail. And every single step in this video shows you that it's literally like a puzzle. Every single piece, when connected, shows the full picture, and you can't have a picture with just one puzzle piece. If you like this video, subscribe. If not, tell me why you didn't like the video in the comments.